Saturday morning conversations. We tell your story, no hesitation. Saturday morning conversations. Go grab your coffee and pick your favorite seat. Saturday morning conversations. This morning's gonna be so inspiring. Saturday morning conversations. Watch what's happening in your community. Saturday morning conversations. Saturday morning.
Who do you think should be the next president and why?
Andre Whitehead. He has a charisma. He's the man. That's the guy. That's my guy.
Hello and welcome to Conversations. Today we've got something a little different. I'd like to introduce you to our two political analysts. First, you'll meet Mr. Antoine Penix, our independent political analyst. And then on the more conservative side, we have Mr. George Kaler as our conservative political analyst. Today we'll discuss the wall, immigration, and President Trump. Stay tuned.
I'm in favor of the wall, and I'll tell you why. If you don't have borders, you're not quite a country, because what separates you from anywhere else without borders? And to me, how can you secure the border without a wall? Because people they can walk right in, run right in, whatever they want to do, they come in, and so you really don't have much of a country unless you have a wall.
How does Canada secure their borders?
Who?
Canada.
Canada's a little bit different. People aren't trying to get from Canada into America.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. I lived in Germany for a number of years. Well, a number of them might be, but not whole caravans. I haven't seen any caravans in Canada heading for America. I lived in West Germany, and they had a wall. But the wall was to keep people in, not keep people out. And so in Germany, it was very effective. They not only had a wall, they had machine gun nests, and that was. But people
how was it effective?
Yeah,
Reagan
tried to escape.
went on TV to help them tear it down.
I was there.
Effective of this?
Yeah, I didn't think the Berlin Wall and the East German border, so to speak, would fall without bloodshed.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy that it fell peacefully, and the people of East Germany could be free. And they're still kind of recovering from it because East Germany was so poor under socialism, and West Germany was so rich. And combining the two together, it's really been a difficult thing, and they're still working at it.
So was it in American interest they tore down the wall, or in Germans' interest?
Why they tore it down?
Yeah.
She was a student in an East German high school. And the teacher was going on about the evils of capitalism, the evils of Christianity, the evils of America. And the headmaster came in and whispered to the teacher, and then he left. And the teacher said, "Class, I apologize. Everything I've been telling you is a lie. America is a great country. Capitalism is a good form of a way to make a good economy. And I've told you these things because I was forced to." She said everybody in the class was just absolutely stunned. Everything they've ever heard was the evil of our country, and all of a sudden they were free. Well, they were free from the lies, but it's hard to take somebody from socialism into capitalism. Now, my forefathers came over in 1688 from Germany. When they came over, this wasn't quite a country yet. They had to cut down the trees, plant, fight the Indians, whatever it took to survive, and a lot of them didn't. A lot of them died. They didn't come into a ready-made country, and they didn't come in expecting anything at all.
When was this?
This was in 1688.
This is before Ellis Island?
Yeah. And
Or
so,
through Ellis Island.
that's a long time ago. But here's the problem. These people from Guatemala and Honduras and so on, they're coming into a ready-made situation where their safety
Why
nets.
is there no wall keeping your people out?
There should be a wall in Mexico keeping them out of Mexico, but they're allowed into Mexico, so they
No,
come.
but there was no wall keeping your people out.
Actually, there was. It was a wall of, you might die there, and you probably will. Almost all the people at Jamestown, I don't know if you read about it, like 80% of them died the first year. They came in.
80% of them weren't prepared to survive here. So the Indians helped them to survive later on. They would not have made it if Indians didn't help them
They
survive.
still starved to death.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to other countries and colonize them. There's going to be some loss before a certain small group is going to survive. And then those guys survive. It's like, hey, we made it through. We know what to do. Okay, the rest of you can come over now. Those that died already were collateral damage, as this country likes to say. When they go to different places, yeah, some people are going to die. Some people are not going to make it.
A lot of them did, but they were willing to risk it. Here, I'm a financial planner by trade. I do
Okay.
investments for the last 47 years after Motown. That's what I took up, went back up my financial degrees. And to me, that's who's going to pay for this? Who is going to pay for
Who pays for
all
the
the
wars?
people, the millions of people coming in
Who pays for the wars?
as if fighting the Nazis and trying to save our country from being captured and enslaved by the Nazis, as if that is on an equation with, any kind of equation with bring a lot of poor people in and let's feed them. We should feed them where they are, but we don't need to bring them in here.
What was Ellis Island all about? So you put up a wall, you should tear down Statue of Liberty. The whole mantra behind that was, give us your poor, give us who you don't want. This is a prison colony just like Australia. Give it all to us, and we'll take lemons and make lemonade.
Well, that plaque didn't come with the Statue of Liberty. It was a contest for a poem about 50 years after the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the Star Spangled Banner's poem?
And it was, and so they won the contest, give us your poor, your huddled masses. And that was put in the Statue of Liberty, but it's an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
And it really,
Ellis
and
Island's
a lot
an
of our
afterthought.
people came over, but give us your poor, as long as they're willing to work, assimilate, and not expect a thing.
Assimilate. Oh, they assimilated all right, especially those Irish.
Well, they assimilated as well as they could. My people learned to speak English.
Oh, no, they didn't learn to speak English. They just hit their accents. They still spoke their language at home.
You mean it German? Yeah, I remember my
German,
grandma.
Asian, it don't matter. Wherever other country you come from, you still speak your language at home and you speak English outside of your home to assimilate.
Have you been to a lot of places where they don't speak English at all? I mean, in America. I'll be heading to California next.
I just left California 2 years ago.
There's a number of places over there where you can't hear a word of English.
Well, there sure is. Lots of places.
Hi, I'm Mark Dalton with the Terry Auto Group. Have you heard? We're growing again. This time, we're expanding into South Boston, which means over 100 more cars for you to choose from. Our pre-owned vehicles start at $19.95, and with over 450 to search from 5 locations on terryautogroup.com, we're sure to have what you're looking for. Plus, we're adding another deal of the day. But no matter what location, you'll always get the same great Terry experience. Terry Auto Group. You'll love our cars.
Lee Hartman & Sons offers more than you know. We have top-of-the-line televisions, audio products, and home installations. And when you need a quality camera, plus the perfect lens, the experts at Lee Hartman will help you choose what's best. Need a repair? We service everything from cameras to TVs and sound systems, audio-visual design, installation, and service for your business or school. Our rental department can provide lighting and sound for concerts, meetings, or special events. Visit Lee Hartman & Sons for everything audio and visual.
I'd like to introduce you to the Schul's difference. For over 120 years, Schul's has provided outstanding service to customers just like you. Schul's sells only the top name brand home furnishings like La-Z-Boy, Bassett, and Catnapper. The Schul's difference continues with our convenient in-store financing at all Schul's locations. No banks or finance companies. That means you deal only with the friendly folks at Schul's. Schul's, everything for your home today.
Hello and welcome back. Our special feature, The Wall, Immigration and President Trump, with our two political analysts, Mr. George Kaler, he's a conservative, and Mr. Antoine Penix, the independent. Stay tuned.
What is your objection to the wall? Why don't you want a wall to secure our borders?
A wall is just a waste. We already had, since Bush Jr., trying their best to do little bits and pieces along that border. And they have. All those pictures that we see of walls and stuff that's already there, that has nothing to do with Trump, that was even with Obama. They put in funding for little pieces to just, step up security along the border. But we're building the wall over tunnels. There's a video out. Trump giving some speech at some college. I don't know if it was Trump University. I don't know if you ever had any graduates come from there. But he's telling people, if there's a wall in front of you, go around it. Go under it. Mm-hmm. Don't ever give up. Go around obstacles set in your way. And that's pretty much life. Life puts obstacles in your way. They've been dealing with border patrol kind of stuff for years. Reagan said it best. Reagan reached out to him, was like, instead of X, Y, and Z, let's do it this way. You don't drive with, a hammer or, fist. Let's just reach out to them, make them pay taxes. There's simpler ways to do it other than just sitting down there gassing people and turning away people seeking asylum legally, all because you want to be a brat.
How much gassing have you actually seen?
How much have I seen?
I mean, on video.
On video? I've seen enough. I've seen as much as Fox News and CNN, MSNBC, as much as they show. That's what I've seen. I have not gone there to see it. I'm not venturing out down there.
I've seen the same videos, except it showed in the background where the gas thing was. And there was film crews already set up for the gas. There were people set up to be gassed. It was completely a construct. And no, I don't mind. I've faced tear gas. I marched with King in 1964. And I know what tear gas is. It's a great deterrent to keep you from going into a certain area. You don't want it to go there because it's going to sting your eyes, hard to breathe. I don't mind. If we have to keep people out using gas, I don't care. They're illegal. They have to come in legally.
What's illegal?
What's illegal? Meaning they're uninvited.
No, they're not. They're not invited. They're invited to come here and do the jobs that Americans supposedly don't want to do. They've been invited here for a very long time to supplant the black community in doing a lot of jobs. They're wanted here. In California, in certain areas, they've taken over tons of jobs that we used to have way back in the day.
Well, illegals, yes, they will do jobs if that is their only recourse. And so, but what if they don't have to do the jobs? What if they can get welfare and other benefits simply by not doing the job? What are they going to do then? Back in the 60s in Alabama, Mexican migrant workers would come up from Mexico. They would work the potato farms, pick the potatoes, plant the potatoes, whatever it was, take their money, go back to Mexico. That's where they lived.
How much money?
How much? Enough to make it worth it.
For where? Mexico or the United States? They couldn't survive off that money here because they were being paid poverty slave wages. They were paying less to them because the black people wanted more, and add Florida to that because they used to pick all the citrus, add every agriculture you can think of, add them to that. They took way less money, and that money went further for them if they went back home and used it. It didn't do anything for them here. Couldn't house them here, couldn't feed them here, couldn't do anything for them here. So they had to go back. And they were migrate,
Oh, they were housed. I mean, they're
housing shacks.
Housing. They were shotgun houses.
Yeah,
But it's the same kind of houses that the Irish lived in, in the coal fields.
Don't ever bring up the Irish. they've assimilated so much and done so much, and I mean, the Catholic Church is on par with the Protestant Church. The bringing up the Irish is moot. They're almost like the Jews. You know, you bring them up about their plight and all this kind of stuff, and they've assimilated so much. They hardly, they get St. Patrick's Day and all this different kind of. They've taken over New England. It's Irish. It's like they haven't lost for nothing. They made up. Remember that movie Far and Away?
Yeah,
with Nicole Kidman. Oh yeah, it's a great movie about going and fighting out of the little brothels or streets, and then going out and get your land out. But then I tell you that land's owned by Indians. And that land was given to them by treaties and everything else. You just go put a stake on it, boom, that's your land. Indians are already living on the land. They're taking someone else's land.
I'm not saying that's right. How can we compare something that's wrong with something else that's wrong? I mean, the wall is not a wrong thing if it will help to stem the flow.
What does it do?
What does it do?
Stem what flow? People just go through the freeways and go through that little port
They apply?
thing. Yeah, I agree. You should apply to become a citizen. You should pay taxes once you become a citizen. There are avenues for you to do that. But the Mexicans are very proud people. I used to sell cars in California.
I bet you were great at it.
And I had a 10-year-old kid translating for me and his father because his father didn't speak English. And I also picked up a lot of people in Uber and UCLA. I lived in Westwood and worked at bars and stuff around there. And there were kids going to UCLA. There's a lot of demonstrations, protests against the lower enrollment of minorities and all that kind of stuff like that. And you're getting these generations of newer, Mexicans. You got people bragging on YouTube how they took advantage of everything and they graduated and they never were, a citizen and all this kind of stuff. Now, Canada can deny you entry if you have a DUI. Doesn't matter how old it is, anything like that. They can be like, no, you can't come in here. Now, I believe in borders security. Borders, get your passport, do what you got to do, to go back and forth, all that kind of stuff like that. But they are being used for another part of society to do a lot of stuff. California, mainly, Mexico, all the kind, they're being used. There's two sides of the debate, which is never going to get solved, because both sides of the debate are using illegal immigrants. Your boy that wants to build a wall uses nothing but illegal immigrants at his resorts.
Providing quality and comprehensive health care services to nearly 18,000 patients in Central Virginia is something Johnson Health Center is very proud of. With multiple locations and services, accessing care has never been more easier or convenient. Johnson Health Center is for everyone in this community.
Gracias por elegirnos.
Salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik sa amin.
Je vous remercie parce que vous avez choisi notre clinique.
Thank you for choosing us.
Thank you for choosing Johnson Health Center.
Hospice is a Medicare benefit that is 100% covered, no cost to the patient or their family. Senior Independence is the home health and hospice program that Westminster Canterbury started to extend their quality of services out into the community. Our hospice care offers a gift to the patient and their families. And it's a gift of peace, a gift of comfort, and a gift of love.
Learn more about Senior Independence at sihomecare.org.
Are you an experienced automotive sales professional? Are the top performers at your store earning up to $150,000 a year? First Team is consistently one of the top 10 new car dealers in Virginia, and we're growing again. Our Subaru sales are up 18%, VW sales up 20%, Nissan sales up 23%. We need experienced sales staff now. With over 900 new and used vehicles, First Team has the inventory and pay plan to make you succeed in a fast-paced, fun working environment. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Apply online today at firstteamautomall.com.
Hello and welcome back to the broadcast. Today we continue our segment, The Wall, Immigration and President Trump, with our two political analysts, Mr. Antoine Penix and Mr. George Kaler. Stay tuned.
The American Chamber of Commerce is against the wall. And the reason why? Cheap labor. And that cheap labor really costs the taxpayer. Because if an employer can get somebody cheaper that doesn't pay taxes, so who makes up the difference? the American taxpayer. He has to work harder so that these corporations can have cheap labor. And to me, that is so wrong. And also, why don't we just, instead of the taxpayer subsidizing that cheap labor by supplying the benefits that the illegal immigrants need, why don't we just hire locals and pay them more? Pay them a living wage so that the migrants aren't needed for that.
Because people are racist.
They may be.
People don't want to hire certain people because they may want to pay them less. There's a reason why we have a poster in every business that says these are your rights as an employee. Because employers are horrible, have been horrible. And when you say the American taxpayer, the people that should be included in that are American corporations who get all the tax breaks.
I don't know if they all do, because
they all do.
The consumer pays. If the corporation is taxed, it's passed right on to the consumer. I mean,
you would think.
Well, it is. What are they going to do? You know,
they're hoards. They hoard the money.
Hoard all that money.
Yeah.
Well, they've been hoarding it in foreign countries where they're not taxed.
Tax havens. Yeah, and are we not the most powerful country in the world? Do we not go and bomb people? You mean we can't go to the Caymans and take that money if it would help benefit us? But it's other individuals protecting those individuals that got that money in the Caymans. In American politics.
I don't know anybody who has this money in Cayman, but I do know
tax havens.
Trump is repatriating a whole lot of American money by bringing corporations back into America. They've been, in order to avoid the extraordinarily high corporate tax, which is higher than other countries, they've been keeping it in other countries. Well, in order to bring their company back into America, they have to pay the taxes. And we have a windfall of taxes from these corporations coming back in.
No industry is coming back here. We've already outsourced so many of our workers, and Trump he's not bringing back any of his businesses here. He's not going to have his clothes manufactured here. He's not going to, his resorts and everything. He's trying to get them in the Middle East and everywhere else. He's trying his best in Russia. He's trying to get all his businesses outside of here. Why doesn't he bring all his businesses back here? Instead of venturing out across the world to put Trump's name in places that aren't America, make America great again, then a lot of these, tags on our collars and all that stuff should be made in America. His daughter is not doing that. His daughter's all in China.
This is going to be solved, just in 2 years by Trump, when we've been doing this now for 40 years, outsourcing everything? It's hard to buy any kind of a manufactured good in America anymore. He's bringing manufacturing jobs back. Did you see the black unemployment rate there is right now? It is the lowest in 45 years. And that isn't from Fox, that's from CNN. Lowest black unemployment in 45 years.
Where?
Everywhere. I mean, we're just talking about nationally. The national statistics right now, the unemployment.
Where they're working.
They're working.
What? I don't trust numbers because numbers lie. Numbers can be manipulated. They've been doing it ever since Trump came in office for everything to make him look good.
Oh, they didn't do that with Obama.
Obama did what he had to do. He had 8 years to do it. He couldn't change it after 2 years, and he did change things. Everybody knows that the first 2 years of the presidency belongs to the last president. You can't bring out stats trumping up your stuff, or if it's not even your implementing your programs. You haven't done anything yet. You need at least 2 terms to do anything on your own. It's like a football team, basketball team, when they get a new coach abruptly. You got the old kids from the old coach. And if you win with him, yeah, great, he left you a great team. But now you got to go recruit. You got to get out there and find those kids. You got to convince kids to come play for you. And then we can see what you can do after your first recruiting class. If you get your kids in there and they don't keep up doing whatever, I mean, it's easy for Duke in North Carolina because they get like top kids all the time. They just funnel them in there and get them out. But for, Penn State or, small schools like that, it's a real struggle. It takes a whole lot to say Trump is doing X, Y, and Z. What did he say to black people? Why did he say what he said to black people about them voting for him?
Lee Hartman & Sons offers more than you know. We have top-of-the-line televisions, audio products, and home installations. And when you need a quality camera plus the perfect lens, the experts at Lee Hartman will help you choose what's best. Need a repair? We service everything from cameras to TVs and sound systems, audio-visual design, installation, and service for your business or school. Our rental department can provide lighting and sound for concerts, meetings, or special events. Visit Lee Hartman & Sons for everything audio and visual.
Let's do a reality check. Let's do furniture. Let's do mattresses. Let's do it different. And let's do it at the lowest price period and mean it. Schul's guaranteed lowest price. That's not just talk. Those aren't just words. They're stop you in your tracks, worry-proof your wallet. Let's buy with confidence, knowing you're getting the absolute, no games, no gimmicks, lowest price. Now that's how Schul's does a low price guarantee.
The region's leader in heart and vascular services, Carilion Clinic.
Welcome back to Conversations. Mr. George Kaler, our conservative political analyst, and Mr. Antoine Penix, our independent political analyst, return for our discussion. Stay tuned.
Are you saying then that the national labor statistics that we saw on CNN and other non-Fox networks on the black unemployment being so low that it's simply not true?
Who controls it?
Who controls it?
Yeah, black people don't control it.
They don't control
We've been funneling into prisons. Our education system's been decimated. We've been, decimated with drugs, alcohol, such kind of stuff. And what did Trump say to black people standing on that podium? What do you have to lose? Your schools are failing. You don't have X, Y, and Z. He just said you have nothing to lose by voting for me because you don't have nothing.
He was telling the truth too. What is the point?
So what is the National Archives, what are they talking about? If we don't have to worry about jobs and stuff, then what is?
No, labor statistics.
Labor statistics. They're not real.
Black unemployment is low. I was talking to a client of mine who owns a steel company, Graphites and Steel. He's hired 30% more employees. He's paying them about 25% more, and he is 6 months behind on orders. And that's just all over the place.
Steel?
In Pennsylvania, that's where his steel company is. And so the point is, manufacturing is coming back, and those are the good jobs, not the service jobs, but the good jobs are in manufacturing. Now, let's get back to...
Steel is not going, he's hurting everybody with his tariffs.
Not these people. It's actually
what is 30
benefiting them.
How many people in there? How many people?
We'll see how it plays out.
How many people does he have? 40, 50? What is 40, 50 people compared to 50,000 or 1 million people that are suffering because they decided to go and do something in that industry to help save 50 jobs? Carrier and the rest of those guys, everyone, some of the car industries right now, they can't, GMC is going to stop making 8 cars. Because these steel things is not working. The steel we're getting from Canada or wherever, Mexico, these are good trade deals. Countries do trade. They were working before. He got here. All of a sudden, they're not working because they're sending our jobs da. That's an old fable. We've been ever since Mattel. Ever since our jobs have been going elsewhere forever. Cheap labor, Jordans, all this kind of stuff. Our electronics, anything you can think of. It's been going places forever. Thank goodness some car dealerships or car dealers do have factories here in America. Toyota doesn't. They just still send them, make them over there, send them over here. But Honda, you know, some places, like I said, Honda has factories here.
Oh, there's some Toyota factories here, but
they're coming.
Well,
they're just now getting here.
It's going to suffer for a while because there's actually more cars right now than there are buyers. So I don't think the car business is going to be that great over the next year or two because they've just overbuilt. That's why GM, which was run badly anyway, that's why they're closing down some plants. But I want to get back to tariffs. If you're playing a game, let's say it is football, and one team gets to play by one rules, or their rules, and you have to play by another set of rules, don't you want them to have to play by the same rules?
Isn't that America? America always sets the rules up to benefit them. They don't ever set the rules up to benefit anybody else but them.
Well, let's say China.
We're not allowing China to come over here and set up shop and do stuff.
Yeah, we are. They're all over the place now.
As it's like manufacturing. You want to find a sweatshop, you find them in Los Angeles. You're going to find those sweatshops like you find sweatshops in China. You're not going to find the same thing. America has dumbed down its population. We can't do manufacturing jobs.
Do you and I ever agree on that?
We cannot do a lot of the jobs that we used to do back in the day with factories.
Why do you think that is?
Because they dumbed down the population.
I'm 75 years old, and the world I was raised in was so...
I worked on farms. I picked tobacco when I was 10 years old.
That's hard work. Especially if you get nicotine poisoning, like if the tobacco plant's wet and you're working on that, you get really sick.
That green muck, whatever that stuff was.
This has been 40, 50 years in the making. Remember, I'm 75. I fought NAFTA. It looked to me like a bad deal, the North American Free Trade Agreement, and with Mexico and Canada. Now, Canada started pulling the wool over our eyes a while back, but Mexico, it'll say assembled in Mexico, but it actually, everything came in from China. The Mexicans do a little bit to it, and all of a sudden, the Chinese are bringing all their cheap goods in via Mexico, and that's cheating. And
but you know that stuff can't come here without the government. The government allows that stuff to come in here. He's not putting a stop to it because he's done it. All the stuff has made in China on it. He's taking, and like I said, and Ivanka just got her deal through China.
He doesn't have a manufacturing. He has hotels and golf courses.
Yeah, you worn a Trump tie lately? You own a Trump tie? You own any Trump jackets apparel? It all says made in China on the tag. All of his stuff. The hats that say make America great again have made in China on it. He's not making it in some factory in Arkansas or New York.
I wouldn't know. I wanted to make
I thought you might show the hat on or something.
I'm Misty Hairston. I'm 23 years old. I'm in the Air Force, and I came to Jefferson College to become a nurse. I was attracted to Jefferson College because of the clinical experience and opportunities here at Carilion Clinic. I really love the small class sizes and the one-on-one instruction that I receive from my professors. In the Air Force, we focus on 3 core values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all that we do. And I feel like I can apply those same core values in becoming the best nurse that I can be. After graduating, I plan on pursuing nursing opportunities within the Air Force, and my experience here at Jefferson College will help impact the lives of my family and my community. Be next.
Providing quality and comprehensive health care services to nearly 18,000 patients in Central Virginia is something Johnson Health Center is very proud of. With multiple locations and services, accessing care has never been more easier or convenient. Johnson Health Center is for everyone in this community.
Gracias por elegirnos.
Salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik sa amin.
Je vous remercie parce que vous avez choisi notre clinique.
Thank you for choosing us.
Thank you for choosing Johnson Health Center.
At Terry, our main concern is our driver safety. That's why we love Subaru's EyeSight driver assist technology. Subaru vehicles with EyeSight technology have a 57% reduction in rear-end collisions versus a Subaru without it. EyeSight monitors traffic movement, offers lane assisting, and pre-collision braking can apply full braking force in emergency situations, helping you avoid or reduce frontal impacts. When you want an extra set of eyes on the road, meet the EyeSight-equipped Subaru from Terry Subaru. You'll love our cars.
Hello and welcome back to the broadcast. Today we discuss the wall, immigration, and President Trump with our political analysts. On the conservative side, we have Mr. George Kaler, and our independent analyst is Mr. Antoine Penix.
So in terms of the wall, did we not influence the taking down of another wall in another country? That wasn't even about border security.
The wall was to keep people in. That's a travesty. That's a prison. Prison walls are extraordinarily good at keeping prisoners in. This is
You know what? There are prison walls all over America, and drugs still get in them.
That's because of graft, corruption, dishonesty, guards taking bribes. You know, the Great Wall of China, by the way, was never breached by the enemy except 3 times. And do you know what those 3 times were? The guards were bribed. That was it. The greatest wall in the history of the world, and yet it was breached by the Mongolians. How? Guards were bribed. Now, corruption is everywhere, and the wall isn't going to work unless we have some honesty behind it. But my contention is, we're not a country if we don't have borders. And how are we going to have borders if people can just simply come in? I saw in Arizona, there's miles and miles of no wall, no fence, no nothing. Just miles of debris, litter, all kinds of stuff, where thousands and thousands of people have simply crossed in from Mexico. That caravan, did you know it went to San Diego? That was 1,700 miles further than they would have had to go had they just walked up to the south part of Texas. And the reason they went to San Diego, 9th Court Circuit, they are very lenient towards illegal immigrants. Whereas in Texas, they're tougher. So they marched another 1,700 miles to get to San Diego. Why would they do that? Well, they just want in. Why do they want in? Well, poverty, more opportunity here. And we have politicians saying they're going to strengthen America. Well, why don't they stay where they are and strengthen those areas? I mean, why are they not staying there?
Because America is more, I don't understand what the problem. America's more interested in running across to the Middle East and bombing those people rather than going down south of here to the border and bombing drug lords and eradicating them. We can go find dudes in a hole. We can go we incite people to do what they did to Gaddafi and whatever else way over in the Middle East. But we can't go below the border and take out some drug pens, some drug lords.
I would love to wipe out the drug lords.
We can make movies about it. We can make tons of movies about sending SEAL teams down there to disrupt something or whatever else. But in reality, they're chopping off heads. Oh, they're decapitating police officers. Oh, they're doing this to politicians. They talk about Mexico like it's the Middle East. But we ain't sending our military down there. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason they're not telling you, not telling me. But it's going. So they're trying to get out of that. Because of our sanctions and our involvement down there with a lot of different things is the reason why they're trying to escape. Because they've been empowered. They know the military's not coming to get rid of them. Okay, we'll take down El Chapo. We'll take down one dude. Another dude step up, take his place. That's what, there's always, someone in line, a brother, an uncle, a son, to keep running the business. And there's no reason this place should be flooded with as many drugs from Mexico if we were really serious about Mexico. We're not. We want their cheap labor. We want their drugs.
Well, Antoine, the things that you just mentioned are so true. And once again, it's the corruption of man's hearts. We want cheap labor. We want the drugs. By the way, I'm libertarian more than Republican.
Okay.
I don't believe in bombing people anywhere. I don't think we have a dog in many people's fights. But in Mexico, where the drug lords are sending people up with drugs, that's a dog in we have the dog in that fight.
You may not know about those dogs, but we only need to know basis. America's not going to tell us everything. They're not going to, they'll just say it because of American interest. I have friends in the military, and I'm sure you probably come across a lot of people in the military too, that start working for the military and go in as independent contractors two different places. The movie Black Hawk Down was about us being somewhere we shouldn't have been in the first place. And we got mad when our chops getting taken down protecting contractors. And it's like, we got to stop protecting contractors.
We had no dog in that fight either.
We had no dog, nothing over there. But apparently, someone looks at the global map, and someone sees some things, and they we're going to do this off the books. We'll do this over here. Our people are all around the world doing stuff that we know nothing about in our interest. Now, I was never a military dude, but I love the movie Red Dawn. I firmly
believe... The new
believe,
one or the old one?
I did not see it. I'm not into these remakes.
Okay.
Oh, these remakes are horrible.
With Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze. I would gladly pick up a gun and defend my neighbors, my neighborhood, my community, my state, whatever else. If someone crosses our borders with tanks, guns, blowing stuff up, doing things, that's like, okay, now you're out of line. Being sent somewhere to kill, drop bombs, and do things to people that
you don't even know.
They don't even know.
You don't have a
doesn't make sense to me. It has to make sense to me. You can't be a conscionable objector and them be happy with you. Did you see Hacksaw Ridge? Him being a conscionable objector and being like, I'm not going to pick up a gun. I'm not going to do it. And he pulled off Japanese. He pulled off Americans. For help, whatever.
Save lives.
Save lives. Yeah. But you can't be that today. No. If you are, you're a traitor. You're excommunicated, and you're treated like you're dishonorably discharged for having a brain to think for yourself.
Eisenhower warned us against the military-industrial complex, where if we can get something going, but this is, by the way, it's been going on long before.
Long before you and I were here.
World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War especially, and now the military-industrial complex getting us into all these things. But getting back to the wall, I think we should have a wall. I think that we should have an immigration policy of bringing in people who can add to the strength of our country, people that are in very difficult situations, and I know all about them. I have mission groups in Uganda.
Well, that's not going to happen if they're denied citizenship.
Here, they can work their way towards citizenship. After they're invited in, we vet them. We can't just have caravans.
And we make them wait 15, 20 years to get a citizenship.
I would give them citizenship today if they weren't allowed to vote for 7 years.
Why can't they vote?
Because they would vote for one party and one party only.
Why?
Why?
A lot of illegals voted, or a lot of people from down there voted for Trump.
Illegals didn't. Only people that could vote for Trump, and a lot of them did.
Well, a lot of them did vote for Trump.
Well,
even Cubans.
A lot of people that were here legally didn't want the illegal people to come in, so they voted for Trump. So we have a difference in opinion on that. I don't think it is just your opinion, but
it's not my opinion that people are being denied the right to vote.
Well, I would say you can come in.
Only because they're not going to vote for you, then you can't vote. It's like, I'm going to give you air, but if you don't breathe for me, you can't breathe at all. That's weird.
How about you go to Germany and apply for citizenship there? How far do you think you're going to get?
I'll get as far as I can go. Germany takes care of its people. A lot of places take care of their people, but America does not take care of their people.
I lived in Germany 7 years. I couldn't have become a German citizen for money or anything.
Well, that's their right.
Switzerland.
That's their rule.
Yeah,
if you're not born there, if you're not whatever, then that's their right. That's their rule. But that's the rule for everybody. Nothing's going to change that. That's not true here in America. You can go fight non-military as an illegal, and we won't grant you citizenship if you make it back alive. Some people were deported, and their husbands are military men, and their wives were deported.
There might be some of that. I never heard of it, but okay, that is a travesty. It should be addressed. But you're
George Bush granted citizenship to 5 dudes that got killed, and they were not citizens. They were illegals. How do you let illegals get into the military? Because they used them.
They were offered. Well, it's like the Irish. Did you know that the Yankees were mainly, the Yankee Army during the Civil War was mainly Irish? They got them right off the boat. They were just cannon fodder. And they were killed by the thousands.
Damage. Yeah.
That's
they didn't know what they were doing, know where they were going. But because of the promise of what they could get after the fact, they agreed to it. But my only problem with the Irish is that, and many Europeans, and even people that come here now, you were oppressed, you were all this, and then you come over here and you join in oppressing other people. And I don't understand that. You have black men that have lost their lives to go and free people over there that come here and get more freedoms than the black men who come back from war.
Do you think that anybody would think that was right?
Well, the people that support it may think it's right, and they turn a blind eye to it, and it continues. And it's wrong.
It is wrong. But once again, what's that got to do with the wall?
The wall is wrong.
The wall...
The wrong serves no purpose.
Security.
To get a great night's sleep, you need a great mattress and a great pillow, too. Now at Schul's, you get both. Buy a Spring Air back supporter or Beauty Rest mattress and get a free MyPillow. That's right, a free MyPillow. You've seen it on TV, now it can be yours. A soft, comfortable MyPillow free with any new Spring Air or Beauty Rest mattress purchase of $5.99 or more. But free doesn't mean forever, and this incredible free MyPillow offer is for a limited time only at Schul's.
My name is Sterling Harrison. I'm the General Manager at Kinetics Health Club in Lynchburg. We're located at 6015 Ford Avenue, Suite 24. This is a fantastic gym. We welcome all people. We offer a variety of different things, including 24/7 access, free group fitness classes, free daycare, personal training, hydro massage beds. And you are watching Conversations with Andre Whitehead.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
The region's leader in heart and vascular services, Carilion Clinic.
Welcome back to the show. Our political analyst, Mr. Antoine Penix, the Independent, and Mr. George Kaler, the Conservative, rejoin us for this discussion. Stay tuned.
Do you lock your door at night? I think you do. And the reason why is you don't want any illegal entries into your...
No, it's because I don't want Americans coming into my place. I ain't worried about illegals. We don't have those here. This is not California. This is not Texas. This is not New Mexico.
Still lock it.
Everybody locks their door.
Well,
except for, let's see, Floridians. I lived in Florida for a while. Floridians don't lock their doors because there's mainly aged communities. Pacific Palisades, a few places over in Malibu, those places, they don't lock their doors. And there's Mexicans all over that place. Well, even at the bottom of the hill in Bel Air, there's Mexicans, illegals.
Go down to Uganda, there's bars over every window, over every
Well, that's
door.
Uganda. You're speaking of a third world country. You're thinking of third world places.
That's where I work.
That is different. They've been, their foundations for their everyday life has been upheavaled that they have to do, you know. We lock ourselves in little jails. Our houses are little jails. We lock ourselves in, we let ourselves out because of the way things are going within the society around us. And is it our fault? Not so much. But it's the government that creeps around, does all these little things, and next thing you know, oh, well, they hate America. Oh, they hate this or they hate that. Why? Because of things you and I don't know about. We can sit here and argue all day about certain things, but there's still tons of things we don't know about that create these things that we talk about.
You know, we have a name for that government. It's called the deep state. The people that are working against your freedom and against mine.
Well, I can tell you the deep state looks more like you than it does me. And it's been around for a very long time.
I can't help that. Can't help the way I look. But I can.
Well, neither can I. But I can't change my the way I speak. If you talk to me over the phone, well, like most people that speak to me over the phone, they would not think that I was a black guy. But the people that come over here that can change their nationality because they don't have my skin color have assimilated, made things great for them, and haven't done anything else for anybody else but themselves. Assimilation is a very terrible thing when you think about it. You know, there are a lot of Jews in California right now that have no worries about Germans. No worries or anything from Germans ever again. But me as a black guy, I got to keep worrying about things from my ancestors that had to deal with slavery, had to deal with Jim Crow, had to deal with black codes, had to deal with so many different things that no one seems to want to care about these days because they've preoccupied themselves with so many other things.
Antoine, your ancestors came over, I know, involuntarily. They were slaves, and that is a blight. Millions of people died to stop that. The Civil War took millions of people's lives to stop it, and it did. In the Dred Scott case, the Supreme Court said that blacks weren't even human, and so you could have their life, their liberty, whatever. And then they said that the preborn baby wasn't human, and they can be killed.
No, the Constitution says that. The Dred Scott case said that the Constitution does not apply to you. It was not written for you. So your freedom is moot, whatever you think it is. It does not apply to you, black man.
That is a very bad misinterpretation. By the way,
That's not what the judge said?
Your ancestors came over involuntarily, so did mine. Mine were sold to the English nobility by the German nobles. What were they for? They were mercenary soldiers, not of their own free will, to fight in the American Revolution. A lot of my ancestors came over that way. They didn't want to fight. It wasn't their fight. They were forced into it, just like maybe some of your people were forced into fights as well. And then George Washington, of course, he crossed the Delaware River and said, hey, you can be free in America if you don't fight with us, or you can go back to Germany. And so we stayed, cleared the land.
Adams wasn't a slave. He was in the boat with Washington. There were many free men that were here. Did you see 12 Years a Slave?
Who? 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah.
No.
Did you see that movie?
No, but I know Lupita Nyong'o. She starred in a movie about one of my people, Fiona Mutesi, this girl that we rescued in Uganda who became the Grand Chess Master.
Yeah. Sports Outreach Program.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodney South. I know the whole group.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I know Rodney. I know the family. I know when Fiona came here and they gave her chicken from the fast food place and she wouldn't eat it because it didn't have any bones. They found it under the seat the next day.
Yeah, Sports Outreach. Yeah, I was one of the founding members. We went into Uganda after Idi Amin was overthrown.
Mm-hmm.
The rivers were so full of Christian bodies that the crocodiles weren't even bothering with them. I mean, the man was a monster. And so we went in and we started trying to rehabilitate the place. And 30-some years later, we're beginning to make some progress. I'm surprised we have
It takes a long time.
Yeah, we have a lot more in common than, with one disagreement, the wall. But almost everything you said, how can I fight you? My libertarian instincts are, Trump is unwilling to go forward unless he gets the wall. The Democrats are unwilling to give us border security and the wall. So the government is shut. And the only way it'll be open again is two things. One, Democrats say, okay, we'll have border security, you have your wall, which is like 1/100% of our budget. We'll do that. Or Trump declares a national emergency, which is within his constitutional right. He doesn't want to do it because it could set a precedent and say, okay, we're going to build the wall, I'm going to appropriate the money, and the government's back open. But one way or the other, the government's going to stay shut until somebody says, okay, let's do something.
Trump is deadlocked either way. If he goes with his shutdown, it's going to go to the courts. It's going to get, he may feel comfortable about that because of Kavanaugh, whoever he's placed on there might owe him a favor, things like that.
You never
but
know.
It's going to go to the courts. Someone's pulling his strings. Trump is not this smart. Someone is telling him all this stuff about what he can, it's just like Dick Cheney and George Jr. Someone's telling him in his ear, he didn't know nothing about congressional things before he became president. He's a businessman. He just stayed with business. He know nothing about a shutdown, nothing about collusion, nothing about all this other stuff that he's getting in trouble for, and that's why he's in trouble for it. Because he just, I can just go ahead and do it. I'm like, no, there's ethics, there's rules. This is not business. It's not The Apprentice. You just can't go around saying fire this, you do everything my way. No, there's checks and balances, there's different houses, there's rules he has to play by. And he doesn't want to play by those rules.
Neither do the Democrats.
The Democrats don't have to play by their rules. For 8 years, we had to sit and watch them play by their rules and not do their job and get paid against Obama. They committed treason, okay? For 8 years.
Obama said, have you read his speeches or even seen them on
I
film?
could care
He
less.
wanted the wall. He said we need a wall.
Obama, I already told you, Obama and Bush Jr. had certain provisions that contributed to certain walls along the border already, and now Trump is just following suit. He's not doing anything new. He's amplifying it like, oh, this is mine, da 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 da. But this has been done before. There's nothing that he's saying that hasn't been done before, because he always says, well, such and such did it, such and such, da da da. I'm
That's
just
true.
doing da da da. So
why not finish it?
Because the other people could only get a little bit done, and only he can get a little bit done, because that's just the way it works. If it's a necessity, then like someone said, then all those states that are bordering the borderline, whatever, would have already declared national emergency. They would have had the National Guard down there doing stuff if it was a national emergency. And
That's
it's not.
expensive, keeping
2
thousands of
years
people.
he had control, and he could not get his wall. He had the House and the Senate, and he still couldn't get his wall.
He didn't have the House and the Senate.
The Republicans had control of both.
We had rhinos in both the House and the Senate. He should have gotten it, and it was so stupid that he didn't get it.
If it was necessary, then they would have helped him get it, but it was not. Now he wants to blame the Democrats, and as he says, like, hey, I'll be proud to shut down the government. He doesn't understand what it means to shut down the government. He's been on the outside looking in, even when Obama did it, even when Clinton did it, even all this stuff. The Clintons are like this with him. Went to the weddings and everything, pictures, buddy, all this kind of stuff. He was a Democrat before. He was independent. He's a Republican. He's been all over the board with what he thinks what will get him the best.
He was a Democrat,
things.
then he grew up, became an adult.
And mysteriously said, I would run as Republican because I can get over on them.
Yeah, right. Trump, I believe, is a lot smarter than people give him credit for. I don't see me being a billionaire. I'm not smart enough.
You could probably do better than Trump.
I don't think I
Come
could be a
on.
billionaire. I don't think you could be. I think he's smarter than
Well,
the
you
two
don't
of
go
us.
in as a billionaire.
Well,
Not many people go in as a billionaire. Not many people even go in as millionaires. But they know how to work the system, and when they get done and get out, they have all this money all of a sudden. Because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, money. Trump has gotten so rich as a president. He's broken so many rules with this, the enrichment clause and things like that. And no one's done anything yet. No one's
if
said
it were
anything
true, do
yet.
you think that they would be able to pin
If
him?
it was Obama,
If it was Obama pulled all kinds
he
of
couldn't get
stuff.
away with wearing a gray suit, a tan suit. He couldn't get away with, you had people in the background calling him a liar, doing presidential speeches. You had people on the steps of the White House with burning monkeys and calling with placards with the N-word on it.
Were they
You
there?
really think?
Whose approval was that at? They were there on their own. I mean,
You don't think
jerks
that,
will be
you don't
jerks.
think the Capitol Police, you're not going to see it as a threat towards the president?
Jerks will be jerks. And so
Only in America could they get away with that. Any other country, they would have been in jail, killed, or gotten rid of. Only in America.
Well, First Amendment, but what can you do with that? It's a little bit like I know in other countries where you can't do certain things. I don't know if you saw yesterday, Nairobi, our hotel over there was attacked. I had a couple people there. They didn't get killed by El Shabaab. And how can people just go in and kill a whole lot of other people? Or how can people make obscene displays like this in America? And yeah, there's somebody allowing it. We don't know who. But anyway, back to the wall. I'm for it.
It's a waste.
As the discussion continues. Well, that's the broadcast for today, and I hope that you found it informative. This format was a little different. We wanted to put our political analysts together and let them go head to head, if you will. Our phone lines are open. We'd love to get your feedback. What did you think of this discussion? Our information is on the screen. So we thank you for your support. And of course, if there's anything that we can do to help grow your business and get your message out, contact us today. And thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations with Andre Whitehead.